intoxicating your energy. First time in so long you felt the heat evaporating your bindings. Move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the, move like the sunlight, darkness can't hold you here. Bold and bright, push through the atmosphere. This is your dawn, this is your break. Move like the, move like the.
Welcome to Match Fishing Masterclass. So in this short video today, what I'm going to take you through is how to select a rod for commercial feeder fishing, or just the rods that I use for my commercial feeder fishing. I like to keep everything really simple. I don't want 20 different rods to do loads of different jobs. I just want to keep my rod selection down to as small as I can. Okay, so we'll start off with the smallest rods I use. These are the 10 foot rods. So this is quite a new rod that I've had, and it's called a Preston Innovations Superior SL, and this is in 10 foot. So what do I use this rod for? This rod is used for commercial silverfish, F1s and small carp. Throughout the winter, you can fish for average size carp. So this rod is extremely soft, and I'm using it up to distances of around 35 metres, casting light feeders around 20 to 30 grams. Or you could use it for bomb and bread and cast it up to 40 metres, 45 metres at a push. This rod is so soft, it's unreal. The carbon used in these rods is phenomenal. It's such a nice rod to use. The tips it's supplied with are a ½ ounce, 0.75 and a 1 ounce. So as you can see from the tips, it is aimed at smaller fish. But when you do hook them fish, you know that they're not going to come off. You can use light lines and small hooks with these rods. They're absolutely brilliant. The reels I pair this up with either a 4,000 or a 3,000. Because it's such a light rod, you can get away with using light reels and they won't feel out of place. However, I favour the 4,000 reels for my feeder fishing. What I'm going to talk you through next is another 10 foot rod that I used. I've used this rod in loads of different videos, and this rod is a go anywhere kind of rod. I can take it, I can fish for roach with it, or I can fish for 20-pound carp on it. This rod's the Daiwa Tournament 10 foot. So really slim blank, and the tips it's supplied with is an ounce and an ounce and a half. So these rods, they are quite a bit more expensive than the Superior SL, but you get a lot more rod for your money, should I say. The Superior SL, although it's one of my favourite rods, it's absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't take it to the places like Barston and catch great big carp with it. However, this rod, I can take it anywhere and it'll do anything. However, in the winter months when you're catching silverfish and F1s, I would tend to go for the Superior SL. But come spring, autumn, summer, this rod will be fine. So that's my 10 foot rods. The next rod I go up to is an 11 foot. When would I select an 11 foot rod? Basically, it's when the 10 foot rod is just struggling. So if I'm casting 40 metres to 50 metres, I'll maybe step up to 11 foot rod. The 11 foot rod I use is again a tournament 11 foot. It's exactly the same as the 10 foot, but it's just 11 foot. It's just a bit softer through the middle, and it's just a lovely all-round rod. Again, quite an expensive rod. They're around 300 to 330 pounds, which is a lot of money, whereas the Superior range is around the 150 mark. So if you want a rod on a budget but a lot of rod for your money, then the Superior is the rod for you. Okay, moving up then to the bigger rods when you're casting 50 metres plus. The rod I'm going to pick up is the Preston Distance Master. This is in 4 metres, so 13 foot 2, and this is the 100 gram version. This rod, for the money, is absolutely phenomenal. I've got about 4 or 5 13 foot rods now for distance casting. This rod makes them all look silly. It's absolutely phenomenal. You can chuck out to, I'm not a massive chucker, but I can chuck 100 metres with this rod, and I can catch anything from roach to carp with it. Because when you get up to them 13 foot distance rods, you do struggle to keep that playing action. But this rod, whether you're catching small fish or great big carp, it's got a playing action that would absolutely frighten you. It's such a good rod. With these rods, the only downfall is you do tend to need a bigger reel. So your 4,000 reels, you can still put them on this and it'll still do a job, but just to make it perform to its optimum performance, you're going to need to put a bigger reel on. So this is a mini pit reel, and it's just got 020 Suffolk advanced line on, which is £10. Reason I use this, it's really low diameter, so it's going to cast really well, but it's really strong as well for its diameter. So what I tend to find is I don't need to use shock leaders. The £10 will get me out to 100 metres using 40 gram feeders, 45 gram feeders. So this rod is supplied with 3 tips, a 2 ounce, a 3 ounce and a 4 ounce. My favourite tip is the 2 ounce. I don't tend to use the 3 ounce and the 4 ounce unless I have to. When I'm river fishing with this rod, then I'll put the 3 ounce or the 4 ounce in, depending on the conditions. But that is my choice of commercial feeder rods, whether you're chucking 20 metres or 100 metres. That choice of rods will cover you. So I hope that's helped you. I'm going to try and catch some fish now with these rods. I doubt it because of the weather. However, it's worth a try. See you next time.